Hello, welcome back to my channel. Okay, I'm going to be responding to some questions about shading that I had from some of my newbie subscribers, and this will be probably secondhand for more advanced colorists, and this is for the beginners and probably even the intermediate that may not have had any formal training as an artist. I'm using Fairyland book, and it's by Black River Art. Before I recommend this book, I recommend the pictures. They have the most gorgeous artwork for sale. As I said, it was Black River Art. Beautiful pictures for sale. They turned the pictures into a coloring book. Not so good. I don't like the balance that they put the pictures on the paper. You'll probably notice as I'm going through, but really gorgeous. This is grayscale, and for newbie people you should own one grayscale book, because that would really help you show you the lighting. In one of my other videos I talked about uplighting. This is a really good example of uplighting. You see down here where her chin is light, the bottom of her cheeks are light, and it's just kind of going up into the forehead. That's definitely uplighting, with this being a little bit backlit. So this is an excellent example. Okay, so we're going to talk today about downlighting and portraits. A lot of people have trouble making their portraits look realistic. Their faces do not curve, and the lines are off, so they don't know where to put the shadows. Okay, so we're going to talk about the lighting. This lighting is coming from above her head. You can see it goes down. No matter how new you are with art, and if you don't think you really have any artistic talent, if you follow what I'm going to tell you in this tutorial, you will improve your pictures greatly. There are 5 rules to shading that you must know. These are situations where you automatically shade, and I'm going to show you them. 1 is objects in the foreground are lighter than the background. Always. You want to create drama on her face. So your eye, when you look at this picture, your eye goes directly to her face first, and then it spreads out to the rest of the picture. Okay, this is uplit, but you notice the background is darker, and I know this is a nighttime picture, but this is a grayscale book, so that's what we're gonna get. Whenever you're doing your pictures, the foreground has all the details. As you're getting towards the background pictures get less and less details, so that it brings your eye going there. I don't really like books that put too much detail in the picture, because I like to choose where my lighting goes. Most books, sometimes the artists do put in some of the shading, and they do decide for you whether it's going to come from the right or the left or up or down or whatever. Those books are not my favorite. The plainer the better for me, less details. So background is usually darker, less detail. Even if the artist put in a lot of detail, there's no reason you can't color over the line and get rid of some of that detail. And the picture itself, follow all your lines. It'll give your picture drama. Okay, here's another one. I'm telling you, it's beautiful artwork in this book. It's just funky the way they cut things off. Like, page doesn't go down to the edge. They shrunk a lot of them. This is a large picture compared to some of them. It's a shame, but if you buy their artwork, it's phenomenal. Okay, I'm gonna show you the eyes on this. Notice the pupils here and here are equal. If you make your pupils in any way wonky, like they're off, one is a little bit to the side, one of them is a little bit down, people are going to perceive your picture as having a brain injury. And in nature, that automatically gets your negative reaction. And that's normal because it says danger, something is not right. So you really want to pay attention to where you put your pupils. Also on here, and I've noticed on some of the newbie pictures, I'm going to zoom in on it. Let me see if I can zoom in on my camera here. Okay. The highlight is in the same place. The reflections are sometimes not the same. If you're going to put reflection into, if your eyes are big enough and you can put reflection into the eye itself, that might be different because it's reflecting here and something else is reflecting here. So you can change up what's in the white, but the white has to be in the same place because your light source is coming from the same place. If you put your highlight up here and then your highlight down here, she's gonna look like she has a head injury. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is where your natural shading goes. And you don't have to memorize this. I'm gonna teach you how to know every time. If you get lost, you will find your way. You don't need a picture to show you, but I'm gonna point some things out and you're gonna go, oh, it's that simple. Okay. The light is coming this way. So we're going to talk about lighting that's going to go just like this. What you're going to do is you're going to take some blue painter's tape or this is artist tape. I like artist tape to do this because it doesn't stick to the paper. It has very, very low stickiness. If you use the blue, put it on your pants a couple of times so that it doesn't rip the paper. It usually doesn't, but you never know. If you use painter's tape, use the cheap kind. What you're gonna do is you're gonna put a little piece of tape where your light is. My light source is coming right from here. This way, if you put it down, you don't get confused. If you are just, zoning out, which everybody does when they color, or at least I hope they do, you always have a point of reference to remember that that's where you chose your lighting source. And then when you're done with the picture, you just take the tape off. So I'm going to have my light right there. All right? Wherever my pencil hits is going to be a highlight. So we have light going here, here. You see this? It's very highlighted. The nose going down, the tip of the nose is always highlighted. And you have your chin. These are givens. You have the apples of the cheeks, and usually the brow bone, right here. It's just like putting on makeup, where you would put your highlighter on. Now, here's my trick for you. You're coloring, and you're sort of lost where your highlight is or should be. What you're going to do is take your hand right there on your own face. Take your finger and run it down your face. Use 3 fingers. Run it and feel it. Okay? Everybody's bone structure is the same way. So here, now this is airbrush, so you're not going to see lines and stuff or indents or like that. But it's always darker because you have the hair up here. Now, of course, this I'm not really coloring it. I'm just shading it in. Now, if you feel your head, feel your forehead. The forehead indents slightly. Right there. Maybe by a shade or two. Shade. Now, as you move your hands down your nose, what is popping out? Right there. Just like I said. And then sometimes if they have a little up nose right at the tip, depends on how you want to make your face. Then you're going to take your hands, feel your cheeks. Where is the cheekbone? Well, you're going to feel it extend out right there. So naturally the light is going to hit those areas. You don't have to memorize it, just feel your own face. And your chin is going to come out. When you get to your nose, you always know right under the nose it's going to be shaded because the nose part goes in. So you have your highlight, which is your brighter color, and your contour, which is the darker colors. So you're going to have darker going here. Now if you understand slightly over here above the lip and over here, it comes out, feel. And on both sides, some people have it more pronounced, but if you use your fingertips, you can feel it. There's going to be a slight highlight here and a slight highlight there. Now feel your lips. This curves up as you feel your mouth extending outward. Okay? So up here we get the shine. And then it curves inward. Your dark would be in the mouth. Now here's a tip for you and a trick. If you put a dot over here and a dot over there that's darker, it makes her look like she's smiling. For any picture, it deepens the smile. So 2 dots. Then the lip is curving. Here it's going to be dark. Here you're going to have a shine. I'm going to put lipstick on her so you can see her shine is right there, which I just colored in half of. And then it's going to go round. And underneath the lip, it's going to be slightly darker. Now we're going to feel going out on the face. You're always going to have dark over here and over here. Face is curved. It's a sphere. As it starts to curve around, that's why the sides of the face are always darker, because it's curving. And over here, always darker. Now sometimes, and let me see if I have an example. I know I saw one in this book. See how beautiful the pictures are? This is a good example. Okay, here's a little bit better because she's got shading going over here. Over here is always going to be dark. Underneath here is always going to be dark. This will curve the face. Now remember, it curves all over. So up, that's one of the reasons up here is dark, down on the chin. And sometimes there's a side light that you want it to have. this is a side lit one. Okay, this is a bigger one. Can you guess where the light is coming from? Right up here. I'm going to put my tape up there, and I can keep an eye on everything that's going this way. So this side of the face could be all darkened, while this is all lit. And what they on here shows is a hard line. Her face is in the light, but you see ever so slightly right here, it does shade slightly darker, and that will still give you your rounded appearance. This has more, I mean, you obviously can see her whole side of the face is in a shadow. So that's a good example of side lighting and where to put. Now, notice it's the same. Every face, everything is the same. A little bit darker underneath. There's a highlighted area on the forehead. Of course, this is airbrushed. The nose is lighter. Going down, because it's curving, you always darken that, darken around the eyes. Here's the cheekbones, the apples, and depending on how much of a cheekbone you want her to have, if you want her to have a really chiseled look or not a chiseled look, the dark would be underneath the apples of the face. And here you would do the same thing, see the shadow under her nose. See this little area over here is darker. I'm not touching my pencil to the paper, but you can see it. Let me zoom in. There's a slight highlight here and a slight highlight there. Usually very tiny highlight above the lip. Over here, which sticks out. Over here that sticks out, you have your highlight, and then it's contoured down in. Over here you have a highlight. It's the same exact scenario. So I hope this helps a lot of you newbies dissect a face and where to put your highlights and where to put your lowlights. It's the same way of putting your makeup on, where you want to highlight on your face to make it protrude outward, where you want it to go in to slim your face is your darker. Eyes, they go in, they're actually curved. We'll do a tutorial on the eyeball itself, because that's a whole other thing that you could do. You have the darker crease, you have the lighter underneath the eyelashes, and the brow bones, which are light, because they're picking up the light. So I hope this helps my newbie people, and I will see you in my next tutorial. Bye-bye.
If you like what you saw and you want to see more, hit that like and subscribe. And don't forget to ring that bell.